I'm here today to talk about one of my biggest musical heroes, Jelly Roll Morton. Now, he was born into a Creole family in New Orleans in 1890, and his birth name was Ferdinand Lamotte. But his parents broke up when he was about 3, and his mom remarried a man named Mouton, another French name. So the young Ferdinand, he studied piano, and he also attended the French opera. And he started playing gigs when he was just a teenager. He was really an amazing pianist. And even at a young age, he had this incredible musical mind that absorbed all the influences around him. So some of his earliest jobs, though, were playing in whorehouses. They called him piano professor. And he didn't want his family to know that he was actually doing that. So he changed his name to Ferdinand Morton, which was sort of like Mouton, but just different enough where he thought his family wouldn't find out and it wouldn't bring disgrace upon him if people did discover that he was playing there when he was 15 years old. So anyway, and later he got the name Jelly Roll, which you can imagine what that's from. So this man combined all these amazing differences in his personality and his musical style. I mean, he was a pool hustler too, and he traveled with like burlesque shows and medicine shows and all sorts of things like that throughout the South. This combination of real bluesiness and incredibly refined and very complex chord voicings on the piano. And then he started arranging things for large groups, especially his band, the Red Hot Peppers, who recorded an incredible album in the late 1920s in Chicago. Because he left New Orleans and actually never went back there. And he moved all over the country, Chicago, New York. He ended up dying in Los Angeles. But before he moved to Los Angeles, he also was in Washington, D.C. at a club there where he was heard by the great musical historian Alan Lomax. And he persuaded Jelly Roll to come to the Library of Congress, where he recorded 8 hours of playing and singing and narrating the history of jazz and the history of New Orleans music. It is one of those things you just have to hear the whole thing. It's incredible. His singing is mind-blowing, really. And his piano playing, of course, it has like ragtime and stride, but it's way more than that. When you hear him playing solo, you can hear the whole band. If you just use your imagination, you can hear the tuba, the trombone, clarinet, the trumpet, the banjo strumming. Everything was in his piano playing. He was really a remarkable genius, incredibly soulful, and to my mind, he ranks up there with the great composers of the late 19th and early 20th century, no matter what the genre. So I suggest you check out Mr. Jelly Roll Morton, listen to the Library of Congress recordings, the Red Hot Peppers, and all these incredible solo piano recordings he did. There's one tune called The Finger Breaker that was his show-off piece. These piano players used to have these jam sessions, cutting contests, where they would all try to outplay each other. And this is the piece that he would roll out in those situations. So there's a ton of stuff available of him, and I think all of it is great.